till now, less than that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I take 2 liters, 10 liters. So what I do,
I take less than 3 liter, Guruji.
okay, I just open the shower for a minute, not even a minute, for a few seconds to drench myself. Then I open the tap very thin and I take little water to scrub every part of the body. Just scrubbing the body. Already it's wet. I do all the massage of the body. Then again, I just open up the shower for a few seconds. So hardly it will take 2 liters. Okay, how much water do you consume per day? Individual.
Pure water, 1 liter.
1 liter, okay. Drinking water. Any other numbers? Two liters,
3 to 4 liters.
3 to 4 liters, okay.
So drinking in our family is around 6 to 10 liters.
No, per person. Individually, like how much do you consume?
2 liters.
Just for drinking. Okay, 2 liters, 3 liters. Moonstar, can I know how much do you consume? It should be less, I think.
Yeah, so I can say in glasses, maybe 2 glasses.
Yeah, so maybe 2 glasses means up to less than half liter, like maybe 300 to 400 ml per day. Yeah, similarly me. Because I am on raw diet, like if you are observing when you are having fruits and vegetables, there is lot of hydration. So sometimes hardly I drink 1 glass of water in a day. Only if I keep talking, I keep sipping water, or else there is lot of hydration in fruits and vegetables. Yeah. How much water do we use for flushing the toilets? Every time we flush, one flush will take at least 10 liters or 5 liters. Yeah, half flush, full flush. So what I do for washing my clothes, I soak the clothes while going to toilet. Then I wash the clothes. I collect that washed water in another bucket and I use that for flushing my toilet. And yeah, sometimes I collect the urine and put for the plants also. I ferment and put for the plants. But I have not done human manure yet. There are people who are doing very, like few people I have heard of them doing. So yeah, basically for washing my clothes, I use maybe 5 liters of water and I reuse it. Basically, though I use 5 liters or 10 liters maybe, but I reuse it for flushing my toilet again. And how much water do we use for washing our vehicles?
Around 5 liters.
5 liters. So if we are conscious enough, yeah, when we are conscious, automatically when there is scarcity of water, we will be very conscious in using even a drop of water. Like though we are 70%, we are equipped with water on this earth, 30% land and 70% water. Out of that, the edible water is 3%. So that 3% we are getting water from lakes, ponds, rivers.
अनि मेरे को वो ला दो एक्सटेंशन कॉर्ड जिससे 3-4 प्लग इकट्ठे.
Huh. So though we have 3% of the water, but unfortunately we have dried our ponds, lakes. All the lakes got occupied. Most of the lakes are occupied and encroached, and the lakes are no more suitable for us to drink. We have polluted the lakes and pond water. Only like very few lakes are remaining. Like in Hyderabad, we had around more than 1,200 lakes in and around Hyderabad. Now hardly there are 25, and that too edible water lakes are like only 3-4 lakes are remaining. Similarly in Bangalore, city of lakes, but unfortunately polluted and encroached. Every cities have become like that. There are only few lakes which are remaining, which are suitable for us to drink the water. And whatever water we are getting in the urban areas are mostly from rivers nowadays. Like we are getting water from far away. We have to spend a lot of money to get the water from far distance. So this is the situation now we are having, and water we had abundant. We have rains throughout the year. Like suppose in Hyderabad, we have 800 mm rainfall. 800 mm rainfall, it was stretched throughout the year. Every month there were rains. Like if you see the season, every season, it will start in it will slowly start and reach a peak and then slowly come down. So always the season will be like this, wave pattern. So the cold will not occur all at once. It will slowly start, reach its peak and slowly end. Like that again, summer slowly starts, reach its peak and slowly end. So if you see throughout the year also, the cold again, it will reach warmer, then summers, then rain, and then again the rainfall will reduce, and again there'll be heat, and then again cold. So there is the season itself is a cyclic pattern. So even the rainfall is cyclic pattern, but due to our intervention, we have denatured and all the seasons became erratic. And now the water which is falling down on the earth, most of the water is going into the drainage. It's not being percolated into the earth because of covering lot of concrete roads and buildings. Even on the buildings, all the water is going into the drains. We are not collecting the rainwater. So even though nature is providing with abundant rains throughout the year, hardly the water is percolating into the soil. So now the water tables are getting lower and lower and lower, like it's reaching the fossil fuels, and we are collecting that bore water again. Like there was abundant of water table earlier, but because of the urban needs, we have drilled the bores, and how much ever drills we do, that much we are disturbing the tectonic plates inside the earth. So we have depleted the water tables, and we have reached the fossil fuel level also for the water table. So that's the reason, though we have rains, we are not able to capture that water. Again, the water is going into the drains and rivers, and from rivers we are collecting with a lot of cost. So this is the situation of water. Now in the urban areas, again, what we are seeing, or whatever water we are getting, the potable water, the rainwater, the drinking water, though we are spending a lot of money and getting, out of that also, mostly for drinking and cooking, we are using hardly, suppose say we get 2000 liters per day, 1000 liters per day. Like in urban spaces nowadays, we are getting alternate days. So out of 1000 liters for drinking and cooking, hardly we use 100 liters. Remaining 900 liters of water we are using for washing our clothes or bathing or washing the dishes, utensils, and car wash, mopping, for all these things. So 900 liter water is being wasted, like in a for a house. Basically, maybe for a family, 500 liters of water is being wasted totally. So that is potable water, that is precious water, which is supposed to be consumed. That water we are using for ablutions, and we are not even managing, not even conscious. Like we may be hearing of, we might have seen many advertisements recently, like we open up the tap and keep brushing our teeth. The water will go on wasted into the sink. Still, there are people who are doing like that, not consciously using the water. But it's very important to use the water consciously. Yes, we can't survive with water, but yes, when there is a need, when there is a scarcity, automatically, I remember my childhood days, there was scarcity during some point of time. So we used to get tankers. So I was maybe fourth class, I remember still. So I used to carry maybe some half-liter container. Even in that, we used to fill water. So so much careful we were. We used to fill all the water, gather everything, and use the water very there was scarcity, so we be using the water very carefully. That was the situation. So in Islam, there is a practice called which can anyone knows about that ritual? It starts with W.
Wazoo.
Wazoo, yeah, wazoo. So they use hardly 1 glass of water. I was mentioning earlier also for washing the face, hands, legs, everything. Because that practice has come culturally, there was scarcity of water from the beginning in the Arab states, Arab countries and all. So it continued as a practice in their rituals. So they use very little water. I don't know now whether they are continuing the same practice or not, but that was a ritual. They use less water, basically respecting the water resource. So now I was able to follow less water for my bathing after coming to know about that concept. So yeah, it's if you are conscious, then yes, we can use very less water. We need not waste the water. We can reuse, recycle. Even my washed clothes, the excess water after flushing also, if there is any remaining, like suppose in my house, like I wash my clothes with my hand because I have exercise, I get exercise, and I can save electricity and other things also. So even other family members, they use washing machine. We use bioenzymes and natural cleaners at home, mostly, not 100% still. I'm still back of them. So that recycle water, again, I put for the plants. So, and for washing the utensils, I take a tub underneath the tap. While washing the containers, I collect that water, again put for the plants. So at least if you are conscious enough, we can recycle our water a lot. And especially RO water, people who are consuming RO water, 50% of the water is being wasted. So more than 50% actually. And that water can be utilized for mopping the floor and for plants also, for washing utensils also. We can reuse that water in many ways. So we have to be very conscious in using the water. So today you have made an audit. Again, after this session, from tomorrow, try to observe, like consciously use the water from tomorrow, like at least for 3 days. Make your audit again. So are you using the same amount of water, or consciously when you are using the water, is there any difference in usage of water? So what all measurements you can, what are ways you can recycle your water, where you can save the water? It's sometimes it's inevitable. We have to use the water. But what measures can you take? Suppose RO water is being wasted. Can you keep a bucket under that RO waste water? Can you recycle that water? That is one measurement, like one way to recycle the water. Like washing your utensils, can you keep a tub underneath and recycle that water? So put tick marks for yourself, like, yes, I could achieve, I could save so much water in my bathing or flushing or like that. Create a tabular column and compare today's tabular column and tomorrow's. Then it will be beneficial for you, so that further also you can consciously utilize that water and save that water. Now coming to drinking, the problem with bore water, it's high in TDS. And when we drink bore water, earlier bore water we used to get up from at least 80 to 100 feet. I still remember we have our borewell at 100 feet and we were comfortably drinking that water. It was not very hard. But normally if it is beyond 100 feet, it will be very heavy. So we get bloating in the stomach because it's very hard. So initially I was talking about water cycle. So how the nutrients are formed, the humus on the soil, how it is formed by the sun rays, the photosynthesis, the leaf fall, the grass eaten by the cows, and the poop, the microbial integration, all together integrated. With all this integration, we get a humus soil, which is bioavailable, mineral-rich soil for the plants. So over a period of time, when it is not utilized, it will percolate down and it will go deeper and deeper and deeper, and it will become harder and harder and harder. And that's how the humus soil will convert into mineral, metal, and bedrock. It might take many years also, and that's how there are rocks underneath. Again, the deep-rooted trees will have its roots underneath where the microbial activity will be there. The tree's roots will be feeding the microbes with sugars, and the microbes or other creatures will break down the minerals from the soil, and it will supply to the big trees. That's how it will be brought back to the surface when the leaf fall will happen, branch fall will happen. Like that, the cycle continues. Similarly, water also has a similar cycle because plant has precipitation. So the moisture comes up, and when there is a leaf fall, again, the moisture will be on the surface. Like that, water minerals also will have the cycle. Similarly, the water also leaches through the soil and into the ponds and rivers, and because of evaporation, the water is again carried up. Again, due to the rain, again the water will come down. So that's the water cycle. So in this process, we are supposed to drink the lake and river water, pond water. Or else the next level is open wells. Or if it is borewell up to 80 feet or some areas 50 to 60 feet also, less than 100 feet, the water table will be good. But nowadays, because of industrial pollution, even at 50 feet also, water is getting impure. Like lot of pollution is being because of improper waste management, because of pollution, industrial waste and all the pollutants are getting leached into the water bodies. And that's why water is getting contaminated. So it's very hard also at many areas. Fluoride, chloride, and many heavy metals are there into the water. Now this water, though it is heavy, the soil, the earth still has some purification method. When the water will dribble down, it will purify to some extent. So this borewell water, though it is hard, we have equipped ourselves with RO system. So RO system is basically, it will demineralize the water. Basically, it remove all the minerals. It is being advertised as mineral water, but actually it will completely remove the minerals. They will have extra cartridges to add some synthetic minerals into the water, and that's how we call it as mineral water. But actually, it is synthetic minerals. The pH of this RO water is acidic by nature. It depletes in minerals, and when we consume such water, we are not able to quench our thirst. So when we have to drink that water, we don't get satiated with little water. So we tend to drink more and more water, which is acidic in nature, and but body has to leach the minerals from the bones, because to balance the pH, because body has a process called homeostasis, which will balance the pH in the body. So because we are not supplying minerals either through food or through vegetables or fruits, or at least through water, then this pH imbalance will happen, and it will leach the minerals from your joints. And that's how we get arthritis and osteoporosis or other related problems when we are not supplying right minerals. Okay, now in RO water, what is the way? It has filter cartridges like sand filter, charcoal filter, and RO membrane. But if you see again, all these cartridges are plastic membranes, polypropylene membranes. The water filter itself is plastic medium. So plastic will leach slowly. All the polypropylene membranes will leach the plastic material. Microplastics will be leached into the water. So the water which we are consuming is all maybe filtered, but again it has this plastic microplastics inside the water. So that leads to many other toxicity and some ill health later. So now what is the solution? The best solution is your old type candle filters. The other problem with the municipal corporation water is chlorination. Though the water is purified at the corporate and municipal end, corporation end, finally they add lot of chlorine for stopping the contaminations in the water. And finally, when the water comes to our house, it has to pass through all the pipelines and all. There may be some contaminations in the pipelines. And also the water has to pass through different angles, like it has to hit in different angles. So that will destructure the water. Normally the water has to flow in a natural, it has a natural pattern, natural flow mechanism. But here in the pipelines, it will not have that natural flow. So it has to follow that right angles and 45-degree angles, whatever. So it will destructure its water molecules. So finally, when the water we get, it will be chlorinated. And when we drink that chlorinated water, again, we get bloating stomach because chlorine will kill the gut microbes. So again, this is the problem with municipal water. So now this old type charcoal filter, like in traditional methods, we had 7-layer filtration, like we have sand, charcoal, pebbles, rocks, like that. We had limestones, like that. We had 7 layers. So this filtration is very beautiful. So those all filtration methods, they have basically RO filtration system also, they have adopted those techniques only, but not utilizing the natural materials. Maybe some sand and charcoal are natural, but the equipped system itself is plastic again, and the filter mediums are polypropylene mediums. That's the problem. And RO will deplete the minerals in the water completely. So the best is go for your candle filters. Old type, at least steel drum where you had some candles, ceramic candles. So in that Rama water filter, there is a company which has introduced charcoal, ceramic and a nano silver membrane. So it is 3-layer filtration. In the same candle, outer ceramic will be there, inside charcoal, and in between there will be a nano silver grid. So that too, charcoal has a property to remove the bad odor from the water, and it can absorb the harmful microbes, and it can also remove the chlorine in the water. That charcoal has that property. And nano silver also acts like an antibiotic, antiseptic. So nano silver has that property to purify the water in the microbial level. And the ceramic cartridge will filter any sediments or any hard materials which are there in that water. So this is best I have seen in the urban spaces. You need to just fill the water from top and collect that water. Even if it is bore water, the taste will not completely change, but still it will not be heavy. It gets filtered. So that is the beauty of this filtered water. Or if you don't have this Rama water filter cartridge, if you have existing, like most of us, maybe they have removed that cartridge filters, water system. So if you have that old type ceramic candle water system, in that you can additionally add layers of sand, charcoal, and pebbles in different layers and fill the water from top. Automatically it will filter down. So you will get the additional benefit of ceramic. Anyway, ceramic candle will be there. Additionally, when you add pebbles, charcoal, and sand, you will get the benefit of this filtration medium. So that's how you can alter it, basically. So there is other filtration system called biosolvent filter developed by a few companies. They are encouraging such water filtration mechanism in rural areas. Especially they are constructing a cement tank, or steel tank would be better. So in that they are adding a copper plate underneath. So then they are filling pebbles and then sand. Sand will be majorly like 90% of the filter medium will be sand. So what happens once you add water, it gets filtered from the sand and finally it has a charcoal layer and copper plate. So final output will be clear water. So what happens initially, it will take 1 month for the microbial activity to stabilize. There may be pathogenic bacteria, but over a period of time, the beneficial bacteria will improve. It will get colonized, and that you can see algae and other microbial fungi also on top of that surface. But after 1 month, the beneficial microbes will stabilize there, and final output will be clear water. So this is the research which they have done. So what you call that? Soil biofilter, biosand filter. What I said? SBT, soil biotechnology. Yeah. So I forgot that name. Okay. So biosand filter. Sorry. So biosand filter. So basically the microbial activity and with the sand as a medium, it gets purified. So that is again one better method. So one of my friend in his, he's a doctor. He's anesthesia. He's into anesthesia. So when he came to know about this water purification systems, so he took a steel drum in his house, in his hospital. So he kept a float wall, what you call the stop wall, that brass stop float wall. So he will always maintain the water. So water naturally filters through this sand, medium, charcoal, and finally he'll give the output to all the floors. He attached a pipe, and where in each and every floor he collects that water. So it was very nice. And he also tested the TDS, pH in water, the microbial contamination in water. He has a test report also completely. So water is very pure. So we can fix that setup to our overhead tank additionally, and we can bypass that for drinking purpose and for cooking purpose. We can bypass that through one pipeline, and we can directly collect that water. So this is one method. Other method, what I suggest is little more simpler. Okay, lot of salt impurities, normal filter not useful. Yeah, that's what. So in normal filter, you can add the sand and charcoal and the pebbles. So that would be enough. So in Delhi, many people have adopted this style, or you can go for Rama water filter. So it will be easily purifying the water. And
Guruji, what about TDS? The
yeah.
TDS?
Yes. I'm coming to that point. Wait. So what is this Rama gravity filter? Okay. So Rama water filter, you have to go to their website. It has normal ceramic cartridges are there. So there is a special cartridge. I will, if you type Rama water filter, you will not get in Amazon. You have to go to Rama water filter website. Then you can find that cartridge, a special cartridge. Okay, now we'll talk about TDS. What is the TDS of coconut water? Anyone knows TDS of coconut water?
1000, around 1000.
Have you measured?
Yeah, I did it around some 1 year back.
Yeah. So anyone are aware coconut water will be from 1000 to 1400 also TDS, depending on the coconut state. Like tender completely coconut without TDS is total dissolved solids in water. So basically the bore water TDS is very like more than 300 or 400. We are worried about that hard heavy minerals in that water. So coconut water, though it has 1000 or 1400 TDS, still we can drink that water comfortably, because there are minerals. If you measure the TDS, there are minerals very rich. Coconut water is rich in minerals. There are minerals. At the same time, they are bioavailable because they are nano-filtered. The coconut tree itself will filter that water because of this structure. So it gets nano-filtered. By the time it reaches the coconut fruit, it will be very like it will be nanoparticle. So it will be very pure and bioavailable form of minerals will be there. So that's the reason we are able to digest the coconut water, though it has high TDS. But the same bore water which has 300 TDS, it will be very heavy for us. Because there is no microbial activity, we are directly squeezing the water out from the bore well. The same water, when it is passing through the trees and bringing up, then that spring water or that pond water, it will have high TDS, but it will be mineral rich water. If there is a mechanism where the microbes and soil filters and in a reverse way, and we can get that water without directly injecting out that water, then like a tree, like how the coconut tree is sucking the water and purifying, and because of microbial and nanofiltration mechanism from the plant medium, it's getting purified. So if we can make such arrangements, then the water will be, though it is having high TDS, still we can drink that water because of the involvement of microbial activity and plant medium, natural filtration medium. So that's the problem with TDS. So 300 TDS also, even 100 TDS also, we are not able to drink because they are not broken down. The minerals in that water is not broken down. It's not bioavailable. Or there is one more filtration method called structuring, water structuring, where the water will be splitted into nanoparticles by vortex movement. Like if you have two bottles, you know, Whirlpool. Suppose this is a water. If you rotate, can you see a whirlpool here? A small whirlpool-like thing. Okay, so when you have two bottles, you have to collect. You have to attach two bottles. Okay, then rotate the top water and allow that water to pass to the other bottle, empty bottle. So because of this vertex movement, water will split into nanoparticles, and you have to do 7 to 8 iterations. So every time you have to just collect the water to the other bottle, then again this will be empty bottle. Open up and again close it, like oxygenation. We need oxygenation to happen. Again close it and repeat that process. Like that 5 to 6 times when you do. When you drink that water, even if it is very hard water, very hard bore water, when you do this for 6 to 7 iterations, when you drink that water, though it is heavy, you will not get bloating. Because the minerals in that water, which are very hard by nature, when you do this process, it will split into nanoparticles. We need minerals, but it should be either with the help of microbes, it has to split, or with the mechanical process. This is like vertex. So with vertex, the water is splitting into nanoparticles. So all these heavy minerals will be broken down into nanoparticles, which the body can take it. So that's how, according to Emoto Masuri, he has done a lot of research on water structuring. So when you take the structure of such water, after it breaks down, so the pattern of the water completely will be different. Normally, to make the structure of a water, you have to take any water, keep in the, freeze it, basically freeze it, and then check in the microscope. Then you can see beautiful patterns on that water. The same water, if you shout at it, if you be harsh on that water and then freeze and check that pattern, it will be different. So water has memory. I was talking about one incident where forensic expert were taking water as a medium to find their murderer. So water has memory. Water can take your vibrations. Like even if you see to Rishi Munis, they used to give curse or blessings through water only. So when you chant or when you speak, the water will water will be a carrier medium. It will hold your vibrations and then it will pass. So we can get energized ourselves when you chant to the water and drink that water, or keep and it should be it should not be a plastic bottle. It should be something natural container. Avoid metal also. So take either glass or mud glass would be better, or any natural steel you can avoid. Glass, it can be copper or bronze. Just chant to that water, and then after chanting, just keep for 1 hour, with the chant, then consume that water. You will feel energized. Similarly, when you are drinking water from holy water, like when you perform some abhisheka rituals in temples. So after abhisheka, what happens? Like, what is the concept of abhisheka means? When you are putting water on the idol itself will be made of some natural stones. So water will be passing through that idol. So it will absorb the mineral property or energy, some frequencies of that stone. Chanting and hymns, the atmosphere, the thought process completely will be different. So ultimately, when you collect that water, it will have some energizing property because it is passing through all these things with some vibrations and some medium. So that water gets energized. So that's how in temples we have this tirath, holy water. So we get energized, and also they add some herbs to it. So basically that was a ritual we used to follow. That custom is still there, and it's scientific. So now what we can do, we can create a vortex. Like even if you allow the water to pass through eight movement, like if you make some infinity pattern for the water to pass, automatically water gets restructured. So there are in Auroville, they have done a lot of such designs. People have done such architectures where the water will be flowing in the pattern of vertex 8, and then finally that water, like 8 steps, that to 8 steps, they will pass the water crisscross, and finally that water will become purified, like restructured. So that's how there are some methods where you can filter and restructure the water. A conch, even if you put water in conch, the conch which we blow. So normally if you have a closed conch, if you put water inside, so the conch will have vortex. It will have a vortex inside. So when you put water inside and leave it for 1 hour and then collect that water and drink, even it will make you energized. So vortex water. So in the vortex medium, the water gets structured, energized and structured. So there are some people who keeps magnets along with this vortex. They keep magnet and they will re-energize the water along the vortex movement. So these equipments are available online, which are very expensive, like 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. So we need not again spend that much. So even with biosand filter also, because the water is passing through sand material, so it is taking different, it is not straight, it is taking different patterns. So that through that also water is getting structured, and with that natural medium, it's getting filtered. So otherwise, if you keep water to open air, if anyone has my picture, water filtration video or picture, can anyone share? So normally what I do, I will share that picture. Normally what I do, I take a container like this. Okay, some steel container. So in this, the opening is narrow. You can take a wider container also. Main thing is you have to keep a tap. So if you see, this is not the base of the container. This is the base. Okay. So inside base is this one. This is only there is some cavity here. Okay. So this is the base. From the base, you take 3 to 4 inches above and you have to fix a tap. Okay. So fixing a tap is important here. Initially, I went for mud container. that is possible, but fixing a tap for the mud container is a challenge because they put again plastic taps. I made a potter to keep a brass tap while making the pot itself, but you have to handle it carefully. So what I did, and also mud container, you need little maintenance, like you can't handle it roughly. It will be heavy also. So I opted for some steel container like this. So here I kept a coupling. If you see, there is a coupling here. I have not welded the tap directly to the container. I welded a coupling. So this coupling I have done welding with brass or organ welding. You should not go for lead or soldering. So that is more toxic. So I went for brass or organ welding is fine. I made a welding for this coupling and then placed a thread. There is a thread. Normally they put some Teflon tape. Avoid Teflon tapes also. Keep a thread and fix a tap. That's it. So in this, you get Nirmali seed. Nirmali seed is called as Tetan Kotai, or in Hindi it's Nirmali. Normally they use in pan. I'll just show. Okay, so these are Nirmali seeds. So this is a coating on top of the seed. Okay, so you have to remove this coating by rubbing on a rough surface. So this is called Nirmali seed. If you don't get Nirmali seed, you can also use Moringa seed kernels. So these are Nirmali seeds. Okay, so Moringa seed kernels. Moringa seed is easily available. But you should not use a seed. You have to open up that outer skin, and inside it will be kernel, seed kernel. So this has a property to absorb any impurities in the water. Why I kept the tap above is, so there is a sedimentation. So when the tap is above, when you add the seeds, seed has a property to absorb the impurities. Because of sedimentation, all the impurities will settle under the tap. It will not come up. You can also keep tap little above if you want to keep some stones and all. So what I do, I just use this for filtration. They'll be floating up. There'll be some floating particles up. Sedimented particles will be down. So we should not keep lid on top of it. We have to keep the container open to the sky. So you can, for avoiding dust to fall, you have to just cover a cloth. You have to cover a cloth, or you can cover a steel mesh. Okay. So I will show practically on top of my terrace what I have done in a while. So when you add this Nirmali seed, it will absorb the impurities down. Along with that, you have to add one turmeric root to maintain the microbial activity, and some herbs like basil, then cuss root to enrich and bring the taste also in water, and also to purify the water. So cuss root, yeah.
Basil, please.
Yeah. So after keeping this water for 24 hours, so it gets uncharged. Yeah. Vetiver, yeah. So after it gets purified with sun and moon energy. Sun will carry all the planetary energies, moon will carry all the stars energies. So the masculine and feminine natures. So sun also has, why do you use a UV filtration in the water? In the water filters?
To remove bacteria.
Yeah. So sun has natural UV. Remember, we have sunscreens to remove the UV from the sun. We apply sunscreens. So sun has natural UV. So sun when you allow the sun to fall on the water, automatically it will remove the bacteria. So just keep the water open to the sun. The floating dust will float up. The sedimented things, because of the seed's property, it will have some saccharides. It will pull down. So either moringa or this nirmali seed. People used to add fitkari also. Fitkari also has that property. But unfortunately, fitkari, you are getting all chemical based. You are not getting that stone nowadays. You are getting chemically made aluminium. Fitkari is called aluminum sulfate. Some chemical composition they are making artificially. So I'm not recommending fitkari. But earlier days, I used to add fitkari, which was natural ore from the soil. We are not getting that natural ore. Alum, yeah, alum. So that's the reason I'm not recommending alum, because of not getting a pure version. So you can use either this nirmali seed or moringa seed, which are easily available. Online also available. Moringa, at least moringa seeds are available everywhere, if you are not getting this nirmali seed. So, for 25, like for 30-liter drum, I add only 2 seeds and I reuse them for at least 1 week. I keep on recharging the water. So this gets dissolved and it will be down only, at the bottom only. It will not mix into the water. Even if it mix, it will float on the water. So middle water will be clear. So finally, while collecting the water after 24 hours, you can keep one more cloth under the tap to collect the pure water.
Guruji, does it take care of even chlorine and those things?
Yeah. Chlorine gets evaporated within 3 hours. Even if you don't do anything, just take water in your container, just cover a cloth and leave it for 3 hours in the open air. Chlorine is a volatile compound. Chlorine gets evaporated.
Okay.
Chlorine gets evaporated because of the volatile property, and sun also can absorb the chlorine.
Okay. And can we use this borewell water, which has a TDS of 350, 400?
Yes. Even bore water, when you do this, the hard minerals in that water will settle down. And because of sun charge, moon charge, water also gets structured because of the penetrating light particle into the water. Water gets structured. And only thing what you have to do is, once you collect the water above the tap level, the bottom water, either you can recharge for 2-3 times, but later on, at least you have to clean completely, again refill the water after 2-3 iterations.
Guruji, can you just make a small request? Can you make small video?
Video already is there. I'll be sharing.
Okay.
I have posted in my Insta and YouTube also. I'll again share in the group.
Okay, perfect.
If anyone is having, you can share that into the group, or else I will share again.
Still, I keep in glass containers.
Pardon?
I keep in glass bottles, same thing.
Yes. Even in glass bottle, you can keep. Only the problem with glass bottle is to separate the sediments and all. To fix a tap into the glass bottle.
First I filter it and then I keep filtered in the glass.
So how you will filter?
Actually, I'm using now this plastic one. So I'm thinking of getting this Rama filter. Okay. I will put the Rama filter and then I put it in that glass and get it moon charge.
Like that also you can do after filtration. So there is one potter I have seen in one exhibition. What he did, so let's suppose this is the top pot. Okay. So while making this pot, he used from half of the he used sawdust in his soil. So sawdust, when he mix in the soil and when he bakes, so sawdust will burn in the kiln, right? So when it burns, it will create some porous properties. So sawdust, it is not fine sawdust, maybe some wood chips, like fine wood chips or something like that, to create that porosity. So by burning that, it will create when the wood is burned, it will create into a charcoal. It will turn into charcoal. So water will pass through this activated charcoal. Automatically, it will form a filter medium. So underneath, he will keep one more pot to collect that filtered water. with testing, with test report, he has tested all the microbial contamination, impurities, and the heavy metals, everything he did. And I have also drank that water. It was very nice. And that was a natural filter. You need not use any candle also, because to fix a candle, again, you need some plastic washer, and some plastic will come into the medium. So here, if we can make something like that, you need not even use any plastic medium. So if you have any potters, we can give them the design. So I can share you the design. So we can just make them, make that pot, and we can use that in our system. You can just keep it under the sun. And for tap also, why I was still researching on the tap. Keeping a cork, make a hole for the pot, keep the cork. Cork will not, like there are different corks. One is porous cork and one is thick cork. So keep the cork and make the hole. Keep a bamboo or a stick, make a hole, a hollow in between. Maybe 2 sticks. So one stick like this, one stick like this. So make a hole. So make a shape of a tap. So completely it will be like metal free. So if you type online wooden taps, I found some designs like that, but still have to do R&D. So if you can make something like that and fix to the mud pot, then we can avoid complete metal and plastic, and only with natural materials we can make a container kept in under the sun and moon, and finally we can collect that water.
So what type of impurities are removed by moringa seeds, and how does it tackle it?
So moringa seed will remove all the heavy metals, and also it will remove any microbial contaminations. Also, it will be pulling down. It will have a property to pull down. Okay. And according to research made by IIT Hyderabad, they used what you call this kala jamun seeds to remove seed extract to remove the fluorine compounds. So I am working on that. I have made already. I made some cultures from kala jamun fruit and seed. So when we add that seed extract, more like I have not worked on fluorine water, fluoride, because here we don't have fluoride in our water. Maybe if any other places there is fluoride water, maybe we can experiment with that extracts.
Okay.
So the other method is making a pond. So this container method we have to maintain, we have to clean, and I will show there are impurities settled down. I will be showing now in my container, in my pot. So this is other. Can you see my screen? So this is one pond, but this is a fiber tank. This is fiber tank, bathtub, basically bathtub. I was trying to make something with mud and chuna. So this was picture taken by one of my friend at Delhi only, Gurgaon only. Her name is Deepa. So in her terrace garden, she has this pond. She was not using this pond water for drinking, but she was using to create an ecosystem and for watering the plants. Like she used to take the same water for the plants. So when I went to her house, I was drinking this water. She was shocked. Like, how come you are drinking this water? Then I asked her to drink. First time she drank and she was very happy, because this is the natural pond completely. All the aquatic life is there. You can see the duckweed, Canna indica, vetiver, and there are different water plants. There are lists. I have a collection of that list I can share. And this water will have fishes. Then you can also keep some frogs, snails, turtles. So down there'll be like clay soil. On top you will have some pebbles to hold the clay, and you will keep plants in pot so that it will to control the plants. It will be easy rather than directly sowing the plants into the clay. So here we have not kept clay directly. So in pots, we have kept clay and added pebbles and stones on top of that pots. So that's how we kept the containers here. Then added fish, turtles. Then after 1 month, even very hard bore water, very heavy high TDS bore water, it will turn into very subtle natural spring water or pond water within a month. So wherever I go, normally I have seen people making some ponds just to create some beauty or for fish pond. Only thing is, this container should not be painted with some chemical or something like that. Okay, fiber is, it will leach. There is a chance of this plastic to leach. Cement would be little better than this plastic or fiber container. Best is mud container. Mud and chuna, you can make a brick wall or you can make a shape of this pond. And then I'm still planning to make a pond. I'm waiting. So once I make, I will update you all. So I'll be sharing this document. So for the existing setup, till you shift into this ceramic, ceramic ponds are very good. Like if you have ceramic bathtubs, it's good. Only thing, to make it automized, you can fix some outlet and inlet. So for inlet, you can keep some stopper, like constantly whenever you collect the water level will be maintained. So at the outlet pipe, you can keep some steel mesh so that fishes will not come, or some water particles, algae will not come into the water. So you can directly connect that pipeline to the to your room or to your kitchen if you set up a pond on the terrace. Then automatically water level is maintained and you will get natural water. From the 50%, you have to collect that water. Maybe inlet at 80%, outlet at 50%. That is my, like, I have designed that way, because top we have to leave some space, 20% space have to be left, or else cats will come, or some animals may come. Animals will come anyway, but you have to create some security for the fishes also. There should be some space for the fishes to hide out and run away immediately if there are some predators for them. So that is a simple design for water. Either go for pond or this medium. So who is raising? Krishnanji, you have some question? Yeah.
We store water in a mud pot.
So from there, from that container, I shift the water into the mud pot. Okay. So in mud pot, I will add, I will show just now, I will go down and I will show what all I add.
Okay.
Give me
How long can we store water in a mud pot? Because mass formation is there.
We need to change, we need to change water every 2 days. Like
every 2 days?
Suppose you collect the water, you keep the water for 2-3 days. Again, you have to just clean once and refill the water.
Okay. Okay.
That would be enough.
Okay. We can use bore water directly. Is that okay?
Bore water has to be like, bore water is still heavy. So we have to perform this filtration medium, filtration mechanism. Then you can shift into the mud pot.
I read somewhere, even if you take RO water and store in mud pot, it will, like regain all that.
See, that's what. So in the meantime, when you, till you make some equipments, even shifting the RO water into the mud pot, it will add some alkaline properties. If you keep some copper plate, also it will add some alkaline properties. But copper plate, initially I thought of making a copper container. To clean the copper container, it's very difficult. So copper jugs also, they get oxidized faster. If you don't clean it, it will be, again, it will, there'll be liver toxicity. So copper oxidation will happen, and drinking from water from copper jugs will be harmful if you don't maintain the copper container well. Nowadays, they are galvanized copper jugs, which are not getting rusted or oxidized. Because they are using some method to make it oxidized free. They are using plastic laminations also. So that will not help. So inside we need to use some tamarind or lemon or bioenzymes to clean it properly, scrub it and clean it, or else it is not at all safe. And we need not use copper container throughout the year. Mud throughout the year you can use, even in cold winters also. Mud container, though it is cold, it will be like I'm comfortable to use. So, or you can use some glass container to, if you want to control the temperature.
Mud container, it changes the taste.
Taste and
the
yeah,
smell
it will,
and flavor. Of
yes,
water.
yes. Because of the structure of the mud container also, because of the spherical structure, it gets structured. Water also gets structured, and because of the properties of the mud, it will add some alkaline nature into the water.
Okay.
So additionally, you can keep copper plate, but you have to clean it well. Even copper, silver, gold is being used for water purification. You can just add, if you have thin plate of copper, gold and silver, you can just add in the water, but you need to clean it well.
So why we
then-
use copper, not iron?
Pardon?
Why we use copper, not iron?
Copper has a property, it has an antimicrobial property. Iron again will leach. Even if copper it is not clean, it gets oxidized. Iron will get rusted very fast.
No, but if we add in the water, it will remain. Say we add in the pond or in the mud pot, then it will not get in contact with the air. How?
Yeah, it will not get contact into the air, but still you will have metallic. Like even in copper pot also, copper container also, you can feel that copper taste. So even in iron also, you will get that copper iron taste.
So what will happen if we drink iron? That taste.
Drinking iron water, basically we need bioavailable minerals. That's the reason copper also I'm telling to clean properly. So even if you are keeping iron, sometimes it will leach, like definitely it will leach into the water. We need bioavailable iron or bioavailable minerals.
So this will not be bioavailable?
No.
If we keep in mud pot, then?
Mud pot, there should be some life. RO water already it's depleted, life is depleted.
So say, but we keep non-RO water and we keep iron also. So is it good or not?
Yeah, one thing is it will not get oxidized if the iron sheet is inside the water, but too much of iron leaching into the water is also not good.
It will create problems.
Yes.
Okay.
I had a question. Those days they used to consume well water directly.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
Yeah, well water was, because it is naturally purified with sun and moon. There is algae and tortoise, fishes will be there. So its complete ecosystem will be there. Pond, well, rivers, these all are natural water. Yeah, Rajwant?
Guruji, I have been trying to source mud pots and ghada during summers in the last 5-6 years. I've been doing this here. पास में बहुत सारे कुम्हार हैं जो near about, but every time eventually I'll end up seeing that it is painted or something is there, and after some point in time it turns dark, and the taste of the water also is not good. So
Okay.
then I had to discard it.
Yeah.
So how does one choose a good mud pot? What is the criteria?
So what's the problem with the modern mud pots is baking. They are using rubber tires for baking in the kiln. So that is one problem. So unfortunately, that is one problem. So what we can do is we can soak that mud pot completely inside a drum, inside the water for 1 day. Then you can keep under sun, discard maybe 2-3 days you can keep, then keep under sun. And first of all, select a pot without paint. So select a pot without paint. It should be, they are putting brown color to make it attractive. They are keeping brown color paint. So it should be naturally mud. It should not be painted. So don't select containers which have paint. then keep in, like the containers which have been used, rubber tires have been used for that containers for clean. So try to we cannot know which medium they are using for burning. So at least when you keep inside the water for 2-3 days and keep under sun, then you can remove that odor, the effect of rubber tires. Actually, if you can keep rice starch into it, cook the rice starch. Normally for cooking containers, I suggest to cook rice starch into it and leave it for 1 day. It gets ferment because of the microbial activity. It will eat away all the toxicity of the rubber tires, and then wash it and then use it. So similarly, you can do for water pots also.
Shailendraji, my pot, it gets that white, salt-like formation outside. Can you see that?
Yes. So that could be because of the hardness in water.
Okay.
So that is not a problem.
It is okay?
Yeah.
We need to wash it regularly, or?
Yeah, we need to scrub with some coconut coir. We need to scrub and inside and outside and use.
Okay. Thank you.
Copper, that's what copper filters, they are galvanized coppers. That is the problem. So copper, when it is inside the water, it will not get oxidized. So copper has a property and it has an antimicrobial property. So copper, when it is exposed to air, it gets oxidized and it will turn green, and then it will be problem for the liver. What is hampered copper?
So it's made
Hammered copper.
Hammered.
It's made
Hammered.
with hammer and hand.
That is good. But only thing is we need to clean it. Copper containers are good. Only thing, it needs proper cleaning. Then when it is getting exposed to air, then it gets oxidized. When we clean regularly, then not at all a problem. Copper water is very good.
But as you said, it may lead to liver toxicity also, right?
Yeah, when it gets oxidized, when we don't clean it. Okay.
So what is the difference in bioavailable minerals and normal mineral? Because is there a difference in the structure?
So bioavailable mineral, basically, which the minerals which we get from fruits and vegetables, from the food, basically, natural minerals which are suitable for us. So now when we need iron for our body, we can't just mix iron powder in water and consume that water, right? We can't.
Yes.
Similarly, that iron we need to break down. Like even if you add some cultures, microbial activity into it, that microbes will break down, and then that water, like we can get from the plants, and through plants we can get from fruits and vegetables. That is bioavailable water.
But is there a difference in the iron that we get from the metal and the iron that we get from the food?
Yes.
Okay.
Iron pills.
Yeah. So if we keep pebbles in the water, we have to clean them or not required?
So once in a while we can clean the pebbles. Normally when we are keeping inside the water, once in a while we can just clean and then we can put back into it.
We can keep stone pebbles or glass beads also.
So what I do, stone pebbles, different colorful stones, if you can get from riverside or from.
Can we keep glass beads?
Glass beads, no. Iron pills. What is iron pills? Is it medicine? Iron medicines you're referring to? Those are chemically formulated. We are not supposed to take any supplements, actually, iron supplements or anything. So that will, again, if you have a proper gut, then the microbes inside your gut can break it down. So mostly we don't have proper gut, first of all. So even if you are taking iron pills.
5 minutes break తీసుకో నాకు కమ్యూనికేషన్.
Okay, we'll take 5 minutes break now. Then I'll also show that my water setup. We'll take 5 minutes break.